It's one of the best stories in college football, Indiana getting to a bowl game. Hey, how are you folks? Jason Horwitz, glad to be with you breaking down the Insight Bowl between IU and Oklahoma State. The Hoosiers season began when Coach Terry Hepner passed away in June due to complications from a brain tumor. But his motto of play 13, as in 13 games, lived on. Bill Lynch took over on an interim basis and recently received an extension to remain the coach. He lived out that dream with the players getting to the postseason for the first time since 1993. Out of the schools in the 6 BCS conferences, only Vanderbilt's drought without a bowl game was longer. And it all became official when the Hoosiers beat Purdue on November 17th to claim their first Old Oak and Bucket trophy since 2001. Team would have been bowl eligible without the win, but with it came a 7-5 record and an almost guaranteed trip, one that Coach Hepner's widow Jane said her husband Terry said was so doable at a place like Indiana. So quite a story for the boys from Bloomington, but the ones from Stillwater, Oklahoma, it's almost disappointing. 5-3 record and a 21-point lead against Texas on November 3rd, only to give it all up in the last 12 minutes of that game and then fall down the stretch to a 6-6 record on the season. Now, a lot of problems this year for the Cowboys in terms of staying healthy. Team was much different when running back Dontrell Savage was in the lineup. They also had to play the last 2+ games without star wide receiver Adarius Bowman. But he has been practicing for the bowl and will face the Hoosiers in a game that will certainly feature a pair of fantastic wideouts. Bowman, 6'4", 220, saw his numbers fall from near 20 a catch last season to just under 16 this year, but that doesn't mean he doesn't have the capability to explode in the bowl. You'll also be able to see freshman Dez Bryant for Oklahoma State. He'll be able to share the load as well. For IU, it's 6'7" junior James Hardy, third-team AP All-American, hauling in the second most touchdowns in the nation for a wide receiver with 16. Now, he could be in for a field day for much-improved quarterback Kellen Lewis because they'll be facing the 116th ranked pass defense in the nation. By the way, Lewis also led the Hoosiers in rushing this season with 653 yards and 8 scores. All that fits in with the theme of the Insight Bowl. Points, usually a big part to this bowl game. Since 1995, the winning team has scored at least 34 all but once, with the average score of the last 4 years being 45-38. And neither of these defenses very stout. Told you OK State's past defensive woes, all part of the Pokes' problems, finishing 103rd in total defense. Obviously a big reason why they finished 6-6. As for the Hoosiers' defense, gave up nearly 400 yards a game, and in the last 6, 32 points per, although they do have a third-team All-American and defensive lineman Greg Middleton and his 16 sacks. But in this game, they'll face an offense that is one of the most balanced in the nation. Last year, one of just 2 teams, that being Oklahoma State, to finish with 200 yards rushing per game and passing per game. This year was one of just 2 teams in the nation to rush and pass for more than 235 per game. It's just the second ever meeting between the two schools. The other, a 7-7 tie back in 1930. The two kick it off at 6 p.m. Eastern on Monday, December 31st. And for more on this game, including who the experts pick, be sure to stay with CBSSports.com. Enjoy a fantastic bowl season, folks. I'm Jason Horwitz. Take care.